When I made my Two Worlds 2 video, I had no general idea what I was talking about. After all, I only played 3 hours of this game. Yeah, 3 hours. How can you possibly tell what you like and don't like of an RPG within 3 hours of playtime? Well, I spent about 30 more hours playing the game before quitting. Again! But I'm willing to reflect back on some of the things I said about the game earlier to see if those things are still true to me, to see if I still agree with what I said earlier in the past. So I'm going to start from the beginning of my old video and then work up from there. So let's see how it all turns out. The first thing that you hear when you enter the menu is just fantastic music. Although that is true, yeah, the game does have a very fitting soundtrack to its setting, but the skipping audio messes it up, and in some cases it halts the music and then goes on to a different song. So with that being stated, no matter how good the music sounds, it doesn't matter because it occasionally gets chopped up anyway. One really awesome thing I noticed in this game is that you can take apart different items to make new ones, like swords, bows, armor, stuff like that. It's really unique. You can customize your own stuff and upgrade them using other things. It's basically iron, wood, and steel. Although some of that is true, yes, you don't actually make items. You disassemble the items you think you don't need, and then use those parts to upgrade the things you need or have equipped. And there's also more than just iron, wood, and steel. For armor, there's also leather, fabric, and chainmail too. The frame rate can get so bad in this game whenever you enter a fight or a town, and it usually happens every single time either way. It looks so bad that it goes into single digits. I mean, and even when you leave a town or leave a fight, there's just bad frame rate everywhere. True, the frame rate still is one of my major problems with the game. Although I may have over-exaggerated it a little bit. It doesn't happen all the time when you enter a fight or town, but almost. Oh yeah, look at the physics too. Look at the way my guy, jumps. Yeah. I learned to get used to that pretty quickly. A lot of times in this game the audio will skip. And that doesn't just include the music either, that includes the bad voice acting and dialogue too. True, that is still very much true. And it happens more often than you can possibly FUCKING stand! The subtitles also feature incorrect grammar and spelling too. Hey, thanks for the spell check, reality pump! Probably a bunch of fucking little kids. Hey, I have a little Q&A for ya. Are you smarter than a 5th grader? Are ya? Huh? And it auto-saves all the time. Even when you don't want it to, it will auto-save at the worst possible place. One time it auto-saved me when I was fighting a fucking ant. Yeah, I remember that. I was like level 2. That was fucking bullshit! It's fucking bullshit! Another thing that pisses me off so much are the controls. Yes. everything I complained about the controls is still true. And I've played 30 more hours of the game, and there were still times where I could not get used to the controls. So, nothing has changed. Moving on. One last major flaw I have with this. It gives me motion sickness. I almost threw up last night. Okay, just to make things clear, that was a bit of an over-exaggeration for the sake of humor in that video. But I'll have to be honest with you. The frame rate, the choppy frame rate and blur does make me a bit queasy at times. And I wasn't lying when I got sick the first night of playing it. I almost threw up. Almost. But didn't. That illustration was obviously scripted. In case you were stupid enough not to notice. It doesn't really explain much to you. Even these truck scenes. It's like you have to figure everything out on your own, even if there's no way to do that. No. Let me rephrase that so I don't sound like a complete dumbass. Some of the game's missions are fucking broken and glitched, and there's nothing you can do about it! Even the patches that Reality Dump has released could not fix them. So what's the fucking point of trying? Oh God. Why? All in all, after playing 33 hours of it total, I still don't like it. As a matter of fact, I think I hate it even more now. I gave up. Yeah, I gave up again. But not because I sucked at it, or because the game was glitching out, or anything. I gave up because a fire-based boss was killing me, even though I had 100% fire resistance! Enough said. I just concluded that the game had broken its own rule, and I quit it like that. So yeah. Hit me. Slap me. Argue as much as you want. I don't give a fuck what you think about this game. There's no way I could ever respect this game if it does that. 100% fire resistance? All it does is shoot fireballs at me, and it hurts me like a fucking bitch. And it kills me in 3 hits, and I'm level 37 out of 40, which is the level cap. I get killed 3 times, I have 100% fire resistance, and I still get fucking killed! I'm sorry. I'm sorry I yelled. I do admit the game can get pretty fun and addicting sometimes. I give the crafting system very high praise. I love that aspect about the game. It's just, I don't know. I mean, throughout the game I cared less and less about the story and characters, and more about the exploration and what I could do. But I just, most of the time, I just felt extremely embarrassed and ashamed to play it because of the bad voice act. Not, I mean, it wasn't bad voice acting, but it wasn't really good either. The voice acting, the dialogue, which kind of makes the voice acting worse, the subtitles, the frame rate, the bugs, the audio skipping, everything. I can't not stay mad at this game. Like, I can't imagine how mad I'll be at 2 Wars 1. I'll probably fucking kill myself or something. Don't take that. Don't take that seriously. Don't take that seriously. Whoa. Whoa. I'm not gonna kill myself. Please don't call 911. But I'll probably break the disc if I ever buy 2 Wars 1. If people say 2 Wars 1 is much worse than 2, I can't possibly fucking imagine. I mean, like, they must be like retards. The people who make it. I mean, like, either that or like they try making huge games with like a fucking $2 Happy Meal budget. Maybe they do. You never know nowadays. I understand that people say 2 Wars 1 is worse and why, but you're missing my point. My point is that I refuse to finish a game with dishonest stats. And just because a game is better than something else, like a predecessor for example, I've said this before, doesn't mean it's satisfying or good, or anything even close for that matter. It's like saying piss smells better than shit. There's not much I can really personally say that's good about the game. But then again, everyone else has their own opinion. There really is no right or wrong. I'm just plainly expressing how I feel. I wouldn't recommend this game unless you're a die-hard RPG fan with not only a really strong patience for technical issues that the game has to offer, but with a good mindset of what you're getting into, whether good or bad, for you as a player. I also looked up online and found some pretty interesting controversies regarding Topware Interactive, the publisher, blacklisting and handing out lawsuits against video game reviewers that gave the game less than a 7. Seriously? Like, why the fuck would you do that? Like it's not your decision whether a game gets scores or not. I mean, it's not their fault that the game turned out like shit. It's what are they, the Spike Lee of the video game industry or something? Jeez. I think I smell denial. Denial that they fucked up again. In conclusion, for the sake of the fans and the audience, I will be fair and considerate for what this game has to offer. I give 2 Worlds 2 a 4 out of 10. But it's a good 4. It is a good 4. It's a very fun 4. For the most part. So bring it on, Mr. Publisher. Come on! The name is Underwear and they're full of shit. Thanks to Reality Dump, that is.